why is this human not sleeping? This animal is supposed to sleep and he's choosing not to sleep. He's probably being chased by something. He's probably in danger. Let's get rid of all the extra stuff and we'll keep the fat because that gives us more energy per pound. Hey guys, Dr. Jeff Newman here from Newman Chiropractic. Make sure to subscribe below because every week we come out with helpful, healthy tips and information for you guys to help spark change in your life to make sure you're living the best you can and living the longest you possibly can. Now, this one I want to touch on probably the most valuable pillar of health. So we've got food, movement, relaxation, restore, and then we've got sleep. Sleep is the most valuable pillar, believe it or not. So my favorite sleep book is this one here, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. He's on a few, he was on a TED Talk, he's on a few podcasts, and the information that he has in this book is invaluable and completely changes the way that you approach sleep. So let's look at some of these statistics. So we've got 2/3 of adults throughout all developed nations failed to obtain the recommended 8 hours of nightly sleep. Now, to put that in perspective, all animals on the planet sleep. We are the only animal that deprives themselves of sleep and feels proud about getting less and less sleep. All right, routinely sleeping less than 6 to 7 hours a night demolishes your immune system, more than doubling your risk of cancer. Insufficient sleep is a key lifestyle factor determining whether or not you'll develop Alzheimer's. Inadequate sleep, even moderate reductions for just 1 week, can disrupt blood sugar levels so profoundly that you would be classified as pre-diabetic. Short sleeping increases the likelihood of your coronary arteries becoming blocked and brittle, setting you on a path towards cardiovascular disease, stroke, and congestive heart failure, which are the most common chronic conditions that our older generation patients see. And it is the most common conditions that are currently being medicated on a regular basis by these patients. Sleep disruption further contributes to all major psychiatric conditions, including depression, anxiety, and suicidality. I can't stress how valuable this is. I mean, we are in a world where heart health is increased, GI health is for the most increased, pain reduction, all of these great medical advancements, and here we are with the highest rates of anxiety, highest rates of depression, highest rates of suicide that has ever crossed humankind. I mean, right now, there is research being pulled out from the 50s and 60s about psychedelics and mushrooms and LSD being used to help addicts and help people with mental health conditions. The fact that the current medication system and the current healthcare system surrounding mental health are causing good scientists to reach back into these pools to try to find avenues where we can help these people with these mental health conditions. They are these mental health conditions are so common, and just by getting enough sleep can drastically change our mental health. Too little sleep swells concentrations of the hormone that makes you feel hungry while suppressing a companion hormone that otherwise signals food satisfaction. So just by not sleeping enough, you're gonna eat more. And I'm sure we've all experienced that. I know I do on a regular basis. I gotta make sure I get my sleep or else I'm going and getting indulgent food. I always think, oh, I'm indulging. No, I just didn't sleep well enough the night before. All right, worse, should you attempt to diet but don't get enough sleep? While doing so, it is futile since most of the weight you will lose will come from lean body mass rather than fat. Fat actually holds more energy than a carbohydrate or protein. So, if you get less sleep, the body perceives it as a stressful situation. It's wondering, why is this human not sleeping? This animal is supposed to sleep and he's choosing not to sleep. He's probably being chased by something. He's probably in danger. So, instead, they think, okay, this person is in danger. They may need some of this energy on them. Because they're in danger, they're probably not going to find food readily. So let's get rid of all the extra stuff and we'll keep the fat because that gives us more energy per pound. Sadly, human beings are in fact the only species that will deliberately deprive themselves of sleep without legitimate gain. Tragically, one person dies in a traffic accident every hour in the United States due to fatigue-related illness. Due to fatigue-related error. Vehicular accidents caused by drowsy driving exceed those caused by alcohol and drugs combined. All right, and I'll leave you with this. He says, no matter what vantage point you take, sleep would appear to be the most foolish of biological phenomena. When you are asleep, You cannot gather food. You cannot socialize. You cannot find a mate and reproduce. You cannot nurture or protect your offspring. Worse still, sleep leaves you vulnerable to predation. Sleep is surely one of the most puzzling of all human behaviors. On any one of those grounds, never mind all of them combined, there ought to be a strong evolutionary pressure to prevent the emergence of sleep, or anything remotely like it. As one sleep scientist has said, if sleep does not serve an absolutely vital function, then it is the biggest mistake the evolutionary process has ever made. Subscribe below.